let me get a flavor of where you guys are with respect to your project. Okay, speak into Zoom because your friends have to watch this. You.
Mostly, one idea is two ideas. That you
Are you in Zoom?
I'm in Zoom, but I don't turn on the microphone because maybe the sound.
Okay, use this.
Okay. So for our team, we have two ideas, which is Sonia answer. You can speak. There's a two ways here.
Okay, we have 7 teams, right? Come on.
อ๋อใช่ผม
ชื่ออะไรนะ
มันจะออกผู้สิทธิ์แถม
ผู้สิทธิ์
ที่คนหนึ่งก็มาเป็น
อะไร
เป็นใช่ไหม
อีก2 วัน
แต่ไม่ได้ชอบ
วันนี้มันเหนียวมาก
Okay, any project?
Sonia, you may. Sonia, are you there? Turn your eyes.
That's okay. Don't have to wait for the whole team.
No, I just a moment. Hello, สวัสดีครับคุณสัญญาเปิดไมค์อธิบายโปรเจกต์หน่อยครับ จริงจังใช่ ผมเห็นคุณอยู่ในซูมคอลเดี๋ยวเราเรียกเราไม่มีการตอบรับเปิดไมค์พูดได้เลย อาจารย์ฟังอีกมันมีอะไรบ้างนะ
ผมก็ยังไม่ได้เปิด
ที่ของนี่อะไรนะทองแต่ว่าแบบเวียนมีทองกับโซเชียลมีเดียใช่ปะอยู่พูดเรื่องทองก็ได้อยู่เปิดไมค์เอาพูดเรื่องทองของยูก่อนโอเคครับ
มันมีแค่นี้
โอเคค่ะอาจารย์เดี๋ยวนี้ค่ะso can you hear me โอเคค่ะ อาจารย์ได้ยินไหมคะอาจารย์ได้ยินไหม
ส
คะ
วัสดีครับคุณสัญญาคุณแป๊บนึงนะแป๊บนึงนะสัญญาแป๊บนึงนะ momentโอเคนะครับ
โอเคชื่อ
โอเค
สัญญาเดี๋ยวเปิดเสียงคอมอาจารย์ได้ไหมครับ
โอเคค่ะ อันนี้พูดเลยนะ
สัญญา you can go
โอเคค่ะ so our so for my side is about the gold price forecasting so it's kind of like the tools that will help the investor or other people who interested to using who interested to investing in the gold to forecast their price effectively. So the technical term, we will use the moving average and also the exponential smoothing and also the ARIMA technique to forecast the gold price, which it will be used to data type. One is the monthly price and another one is the daily price. After we use this technique to forecasting the price of the gold, we will use the MAP and other technique to find the accuracies of the technique that we use around this อาจารย์ I couldn't hear you because you mute the mic, teacher. นะ
อ๋อโอเคไม่ได้ได้ไหม
ได้ค่ะได้
Okay. And then now. Okay, ครับ Okay, so it's going to be more quite a straightforward time series prediction, right? So time series prediction in our context would be considered a regression problem. And in the machine learning context, it would be considered a supervised learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, my question is, well, first of all, if you're going to do any kind of time series forecast, you have to realize that time series forecast, especially based on ARIMA, whatever, has been around for, I don't know, 50, 60 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So forget the fact that how we're going to formulate this as part of big data and data analytics course. You have to realize that if you're going to do this kind of study, you're going to have to do a lot of extensive literature survey, correct? Because, you know, let's say, let me share screen here. Let's go to this. Okay, and I go something like goal time series prediction. Okay, and just let me put in PDF just so that we kind of get ourselves in the papers. We're talking about 53 million hits already. And this is exactly gold price forecasting using ARIMA, okay? So the combination of gold and ARIMA is, it's been done 100 times. Well, this one is a little bit more interesting. You use CNN and LSTM. So it's perfectly okay to do what has been done a million times. But first of all, you have to then do the survey, sort of like where the technology is, what has people done, what have people done, what is their finding, what is the difference between their context and yours. Maybe there would be something like international gold market traded in the gold bullion in London Mercantile Exchange, and you are dealing with something specific to, I don't know, Yawarat Index or something, I don't know. Is there something that is unique as opposed to generically gold pricing, time series, prediction, ARIMA thing?
Mm-hmm.
I have to get to you. ส่งไมค์ต่อใช่ไหมโอเคที่เปิดไมค์ก่อนนะสัญญา
ค่ะฮัลโหลว่าค่ะ
เดี๋ยวคนอื่นเปิดลำโพงดีกว่า
ฮัลโหล
เดี๋ยวไมค์ต้องไว้ใกล้ๆไมค์นี้ค่อนข้างฮัลโหล right
ฮัลโหลครับ
ได้ยิน
อ่า ขออนุญาตถามขออาจารย์ถามอีกรอบได้ไหมคะ
Okay. The problem, not the problem. The issue here is that can you see my screen? Right, I'm sharing the screen, and it shows that if you type in just Google Go time series prediction PDF, you're getting like 53 million hits. So this is a very I guess well-studied problem. So if you want to replicate this, okay, it's okay. It's nothing wrong with replicating, but you have to put your thing in context, which means you have to go through a lot of literature survey and say, this is how the people have been, this is how previous studies have been used, have been framed. This is a sort of their finding, blah blah blah. So you have to do a lot of literature survey just to get to the methodology section. When you read an introduction, when you read a academic paper, say you have like a introduction, methodology, the experimentation, and conclusion. Well, your introduction is going to contain sort of like prior work, okay? So your methodology is not going to be very thick because you're using a well-proven technique, ARIMA, on a well-proven problem, on a much study problem, gold price prediction. So your introduction as a part, your literature survey is going to be huge, right?
Yes.
As a device for project-based learning, I'm not quite sure this is going to give you a lot. Okay. Now it's good to go through a lot of literature survey and as part of academic studies, but because your methodology is not going to be something new, it's going to be something very well proven. Will you learn a lot from that? I just think that as a learning project, it should be more of an open, something more unique, or something more that is less formulaic, because this is going to entail downloading price series of gold, right? Programming ARIMA, and then analyzing the accuracy. What will you learn from it that cannot be learned in, say, 15 minutes worth of work?
Okay. So
I'm trying to say that replicate. Okay, my point is replicating previous studies is okay, but the objective here is for you to learn from the project. I'm not interested in the outcome of the project. So even if you came up with a goal prediction model that is pretty good and can be traded, and you can make some money from it, let's say, the purpose really isn't the product itself. The purpose is what you learn from it. And I'm afraid that here you won't be learning much besides programming ARIMA in Python, say. What do you think? What other ideas have you got?
Yeah, this is one of the idea that we got, but actually I proposed this to the group because because I still wanna learning like the forecasting too, but the other group also like still have like other idea as well, because I propose this group because I learned to use the moving average and also the exponential smoothing, but I when I learning I couldn't do the ARIMA at all, so I think this is a good opportunity to learn for me. But other my group also have another idea as well, like now can you now or or Earn, can you explain another idea to the teacher?
So other idea, but our teams doesn't seem likely to choose this one. But the other idea is we have the data from the Facebook post. Like, have you ever heard of this before? Last time, have we told you? I'm not sure. Okay, so basically we have like reaction. What do we have?
The thumbs up thing, yeah.
Yeah, thumbs up, like, haha, angry, sad, care, and
So it is ordinal because it kind of ranks from unpleasant to pleasant.
no, it's just like counting. If you post, like, let me check the data set again. It's usually UCL. It's earned per mil control.
This side. I mean, no one.
No, not travel review. ก็มันคลิกสตรีมใช่ป่ะโทษนะ But we didn't seem likely to do this one because we don't know how to apply this data into
What is the input? What's the output?
Okay, sure.
Output is a predicted response. Input would be a given hypothetical text or something like that. Like, for example, you might be wanting to predict response, whether or not this piece of text is going to get you a smile or a frown or something like that. Is that what you have in mind, kind of?
Earn isn't here, right? Yeah. No, this one. Facebook page of 10 Thailand fashion cosmetic retail seller.
Okay.
We have the attribute that we have are type, status type, video, post, or photos. This one. Cosmetic, not this one. ใช้คำว่าน่าสนใจFacebook Live นี่แหละ Never mind. The number of reaction, comments, shares, like, loves, wow, haha.
Yeah.
This one. Sad, angry, something like that. Yes, what data is out.
And this is compiled by Facebook, correct? The data field. Do you have to harvest this yourself? Or
No. It's already provided.
Okay. So this is stated. This is per message, correct?
Yes, like one click of like count as one.
Yeah. But this applies to one message.
Yes.
Okay.
To one post.
To one post.
Yeah.
Post.
To one.
And you will have access to all the posts for a particular web page or a particular Facebook identity.
No.
What's your sample space? Are you okay? You're getting all this information for one post, right?
Yeah.
Where are you getting the post?
It's
so it's curated data.
Yeah.
Okay, so good. Facebook Live selling Thailand data description UCL. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good repository. Okay, so what would you like to do? You would like to, and does it have the raw post itself?
We think there's just a data. That's in the CSV file.
Right, so it has all this, right? It has all this per
Yeah.
post. But does it have the actual post itself, like the content of the post? No. I see. So, and appear okay, my obvious thing is, have you looked at this paper that say Nassim Dehush, Wong Kitirung Ryang paper?
Yeah.
Have you downloaded that paper? Because some data repository will also have like academic paper that uses it or has generates it or something, and this one has that paper, right? Have you downloaded that paper to look at what they've done with it?
Not yet.
Now, I just sent something in line. You should download and read. And this is a paper that applies more modern technique like CNN, LSTM for gold price prediction. Okay, for later.
Oh, okay.
This is go back to gold. If you want to do gold, maybe start reading something like this. Because ARIMA is very why is Pansy love food day? Let's sell.
The data set that the Facebook data set basically have this like post, like kind of post, video and photos. And
Oh, okay. So it does have the. Oh, okay. No. Now, first, this set of data as it is, if you use the ID, you can go to Facebook and look up the original post. Is that right?
I'm trying to do that.
Okay. I'll tell you what the scope of a very interesting, a very difficult project would be. If you download this and use the ID as a lookup, and then harvest the real original post from Facebook, do some kind of information extraction. And that's the difficult part. The information extraction in the form of, well, because Facebook is used for picture as well as text, right? Now, I'm assuming that because this is UCI data repository, it's going to come from English post. So I think it will be posted in English or Thai. Now, the difference is that if it's an English post, then your natural language processing tools would be English, right? And you have a lot of that. In Thai, okay. In Thai, so a lot of text will be Thai. So you need Thai NLP engine. You can learn a lot from Thai NLP. Now, I'm not really that deep into Thai NLP, but to backtrack a little bit, the component that's needed to do this kind of analysis would be Thai NLP. And if that strikes your fancy, then maybe you can even think about just stepping back and say, well, what about Thai NLP extraction? You know, just based on this data set, you say, look up all the feeds and maybe do some kind of text extraction. Now, another thing which is perhaps more manageable not as difficult would be, well, forget about looking up the original post. Okay. Right. So if you can look up original, right, and just say something like filter down, okay. Let me ask you this: are you really big into Thai NLP? If not, then I'll just talk about the picture. Okay, I'll just talk about the picture. For example, you can download the picture associated with each post, right? You can run through some kind of image recognition library, right? Would be something like, and some of that would actually generate a summary, like this is a picture of woman standing, picture of people eating, people, okay? So it's not just item, not just food, cats and dogs, but something happening in it. Somebody drinking coffee or something like that. So maybe you can use, and this is something that Google has open library for this kind of classification, this kind of narration. And you can say, well, that is the ground truth. That is the Y. Sorry, that's the X. But the Y would be something like some aspect of it, like the ratio of likes to dislikes. Because all this field that you have, right? Number of shot, number of likes, number of dislikes, number of ignore. This is a vector output. So you can predict the whole vector, which is a little bit difficult. So maybe you can extract from it some kind of statistics. Okay, for example, again, ratio of positive reaction to negative reaction. So you can use that as a target variable set. Okay, and then you use some kind of the picture or some kind of extracted information about the picture as your input, and see if you can learn this, if there's a pattern. Now you can do this, and even if you came up with a very low accuracy, it's a good project. Again, I don't care about the actual outcome. Okay, you come up with a very miserable prediction engine, I don't care, right? It's okay. It's a learning process. Okay, so something like this, you can now. To me, this will be more interesting than programming Arima on Python and then running through a latest time series, because you learn a lot more. There's a lot more integration. There's a lot more of project challenge. Okay. So again, if you come up with a goal prediction model that's 90% accurate, and you have this detection thing that is only 50% accurate, I would prefer the latter. I think gives you more room to learn. Something like that. That would be my thoughts. Okay. Now let's try other team as well who's ready to. Oh, what about on Zoom?
Yeah.
On Zoom, anybody on? No. I mean, other people on Zoom.
Maybe they might cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry. Did you hear my last comment?
I think they like because this mic is too good.
Okay.
It's not like.
Okay. Now you can hear me. Okay. Right. My comment was this. There's a data source that this team has been looking at from the UCL repository, right? And this is kind of like a Facebook reaction, number of likes, number of smiles, number of shocks, and so forth, and the ID of the original post. Now, through harvesting, you can actually use the ID of the post to get the original post content. Now, the post content is going to come into two types. One is pictures, or maybe videos. Let's ignore that. One is picture, one is text. This team is photo and videos only. Okay, I think video information extraction is going to be a little bit difficult. So let's restrict ourselves to photo. So because the photo is not based on Thai language, it certainly is amenable to visual recognition algorithm. Now, the visual algorithm that recognize object, that's easy, right? That's like saying there's a picture it's a picture of a cat and a dog. There's a dog, there's a cat, there's a coffee, a mug, there's a woman, and so forth. But I think there are also more elaborate machine learning tools that can extract information, like this is a picture of a woman standing, or a dog running, or a boy kicking a ball, or something like that. Now you can imagine that we can take this as sort of like a input, and then say, can we predict the ratio of likes to dislikes, or proportion of positive response if it is a picture of a cat chasing a dog, or something like that. So something like this would be very interesting. Now, I told the member who are sitting in this room that I'm not interested in the final accuracy. So if you run like ARIMA prediction of gold price and get 90% accuracy, that's not all that interesting. But if you run this kind of visual recognition and then try to predict response and you get only 30%, 40% accuracy, I still think it would be a better project, because you can learn a lot more. Okay. So I think I would like to, before we go, at least one more team or one more group that has an idea to pitch. Okay. We can end a little bit late because we started a bit late. So any other team? Photo, video, status. Yeah. So there's a lot of that. So I think if you can work around on this database, I think it's more interesting. Yeah. The NLP is a little bit difficult. Okay. We haven't gone over that, and I'm not really that a big NLP guy, but certainly NLP is a very good project to do. You can learn a lot, and there is a Thai NLP website. I think PY for Python, Thai for Thai, and then NLP. It's a GitHub, I think, that has a community of programmers. So they would have algorithm for parsing, separating sort of like chopping words into like chunking words or chunking sentences and so forth. So the NLP project is also useful to learn from, but you can frame it as more like a picture recognition. Try to search, see if Google has a share machine learning tools for narrating picture. Like this is a picture of a dog barking. Now again, I like to use Mathematica, and there are plenty of stuff for that. But I think for you guys who haven't really got the software, I think Python is a free. Something like Google, something like a picture automatic narration, or automatic narration is a way of giving a story to a picture. Okay, so a dog chasing a cat is a different narration from a cat chasing a dog, but both picture will have the same object recognition output, meaning there's one dog, there's one cat, right? So if there's one dog, there's one cat, those two pictures are the same, but certainly you can imagine that a dog chasing a cat would elicit this different response from cat chasing a dog, right? So something like this. So something like automatic picture narration. Let me see if I can find that. Meanwhile, I should like the other group, some other group to come forward.มีไหมเข้ามาเนี่ยพออยู่บ้านแล้วเลยเงียบเลยอยู่ร้องก็เงียบอยู่แล้วมีไหมอยากให้มี Guys, are you still there? I should like another group. Let's say let's name some group in random.
Narration API.
Okay, now add it. Make it. มีไหม
คือแต่ image recognition ธรรมดา
อันนั้นน่ะเยอะแหละ เอานั้นก่อนก็ได้
แค่ดูว่า
Yeah, people certainly. I mean, you don't have to distinguish between cat chasing dog or dog chasing cats.
they just know that women
There's a cat, there's a dog, a woman. Fine, start with that. Start with that.
คนบางแบบเขาใช้ product แต่ก็มีบางอันก็เป็น product เลยบางอันก็เป็นคนถือ product เนี่ยครับมันจะมีแบบคนถือ product ด้วยเมื่อกี้เห็นมีแบบรูป product เฉยๆมีแบบคนถือ product
So yeah. A lot of this would be ads, right? So certainly, if you just show, I don't know, tang chao or something, or somebody holding a tang chao, maybe there's a different response, right? Yeah.
เดี๋ยวดูว่าโพสต์
Yeah.
สินค้าเปล่าๆหรือมีคนอะไรดีกว่ากันหรือแบบผู้หญิงผู้ชายก็ได้ก็คือมันเรียกอะไรนะคะdefinition อะไรนะมันมันแยกน่าจะแยก
ผู้หญิงผู้ชาย easy
แยกได้
very easy
แยกได้โอเค so ขั้นตอนก่อนได้เลย
So try that. Try. Okay. So it's going to involve a lot of programming, a lot of to harvest the original picture. Yeah. So this is what's called pipeline, right? You start with something and you get the data, you prep the data before you even get to analysis. There's a lot of prep work. So this is how you learn. So this is good. I would encourage this over unless I just send you a paper on CNN LSTM goal prediction. That's also interesting. But okay, so have a chat among yourself. Let's assume that Wednesday we'll meet here.
Okay.
Okay. I really would prefer to meet in person. That way you are not silent, because the rest of you are so silent. Okay. Well, I've made the best of today, considering the situation. So let's reconvene on Wednesday afternoon, right? Okay, come. Okay, good luck, everyone. Keep safe. Okay, be smart. Be smart.
Excuse me. Can our group talk about our project? we just
เดินมาโอ้โหไม่งั้นกูจะยัดไก่เข้าปาก
Oh, sorry. So, hold on. Don't speak yet. Just hold on.
can I ask about our group project?
Okay. Go on.
We just thought of one. We just thought of using machine learning to detect detect เรียกอะไรตำหนิ to detect like the product with errors, like when to use instead of like QC เขาไม่ได้ฟังภาษาอังกฤษ
ทีมอะไร
Which team are you guys?
Can you hear us?
Yes. What team?
We are team. I don't know the name, but
เรียกกลุ่มเราว่าอะไร
เราเรียกกลุ่มเรามันมีชื่อ
team Polychat.
Team Chat. Okay. Something with QC. Sorry.
We want to teach the machine to like detect the errors in our products by using machine learning. Like we will put like multiple photos of like the products with errors, and then it will like learn that if we have like the picture, it will divide the picture into pixels, and it will learn that if this pixel is in like different color, it will be the product with errors.
Sounds good. I think this will be a basis for a good project. Basically, what you have to do then is to establish what your ground truth is. In other words, your training sample. What does it mean to be error? Is it error with respect to the product itself? For example, if a cup is broken, then that's the defect. Or if the picture is defect, for example, it's supposed to be a picture of a dog, but the dog looks blue, so that's the picture itself is wrong. So I'm not quite sure what you mean by defects in the image or defects in the product itself. But certainly defect detection and this kind of QC application is something that would work as a project. You can learn a lot from it.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
And other team? So we discussed 2 teams today. Another team asked to discuss on Wednesday because it's not ready, so that's all right. But anybody else is available to discuss? Okay, Cup. I think today we best adjourn. I guess I hope you guys keep safe. And by default, we'll meet on Wednesday, and do try to come in person. Okay, I would like to have the group project things in person, and we can cover a little bit about what went right and what went wrong during the midterm exam and so forth. So a little bit of review as well as going forward. Okay, so I'll see y'all on Wednesday afternoon. Okay ครับ สวัสดีครับ